Oof, this video took me over a year to make. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a really long time. This video particularly took me many times to film. A main portion of this video was filmed last year, over a year ago in June. It took me a long time to finally wrap it up, but it really might be the right time with the release of this beautiful new Polaroid camera that just came out today. So in this video, I will be going back to June last year, where I did a full month of challenge to only use Polaroid film for a whole month, as well as walk you through my experience shooting on this camera in the past few weeks. And shout out to Chris for lending me this setup. I don't really have a filming setup, I don't really have a digital camera, so this took me a really long time to figure it out. And let me know please if you like this setup. Maybe it's time to invest in this camera lens for future videos. I actually prepared a note from last year. It was last edited in June 2022. We're gonna go back in memory lane to what happened a year ago. I may look different. To start off my month of Polaroid film, I was invited to Analog Talk podcast. Both Chris and Tim are so knowledgeable in the analog world, and it's truly an honor to be speaking with them. And if you're interested in seeing or listening to our conversation from a year ago, you can find the link to the podcast in the description below. During the conversation, I told them about the challenge that I will be making throughout the month, and they gave me two really good tips that I still think about every time I take Polaroid photos. Can I give a little tip from you during this challenge?
Yeah, my main tip for Polaroids is there's always more head space than you think there is. So when you're focusing, just know that there's always more room up top than there is down at the bottom. Because forever I would always shoot the shot and then there'd be so much room on top and I'd be bummed. So now I always drop it down.
All right, I'm gonna write them down. I'm gonna write them down.
Yeah, let me know if that helps at all.
Oh, so much. I feel like, so I'm starting my project tomorrow. Like this month starts tomorrow for me. And this is a great way to start off that, because I wouldn't have known.
There you go. There you go.
You would have seen so much headspace that's gonna hurt. now I'm saving my film. Thank you so much.
There you go.
Ever since he mentioned that, I always tilt the camera down a little more, and I found that it's not only to reduce the headroom, sometimes I even cut off the forehead a little bit. It really does produce a better Polaroid photo. And sometimes I'm actually incorporating that into shooting on Hasselblad as well when I'm shooting in square. The challenge officially started in Coney Island. I went there with a few friends and I brought my tiny Polaroid Go. As someone who is in the beginning stage of shooting only on Polaroid, my vision's only drawn to what it seems to be the typical Polaroid photos, which is a lot of neon signs and Ferris wheel and all that. We ended the day at my friend Derek's birthday party and shot some more Polaroid Go there. Some of you guys might recognize him from the channel, which Derek has some really good videos in the works. We're both on the same boat. We filmed them a while ago and now it's hard to go back and edit them, but I hope you guys get to see those really cool projects that he has been doing. And please go to his Instagram and so right here. Please go to his Instagram and send him a DM to encourage him to come back to make more videos. This next part made me nostalgic. Some of you know my friend Enno, who recently moved to Berlin. Me and Enno always kind of walk around the city and explore ideas, exchange ideas. She's one of my best brainstorm buddy, and I might see her in a month or so, but looking back at those footages made me miss her a lot more in just her in the city. So you know, but they probably don't know that I've been shooting so much film lately.
Yes.
And and I love it. You have been as well. And that satisfaction of like, you can shoot like almost unlimited amount of film.
It's so nice.
It's so nice. Although I would say, I come to desensitize from using film, especially 35 mil. Because they're, I mean, not right now. It's not the cheapest option, but they still felt like a cheaper option, and the 36 seems all blunt.
Yeah.
And
36 explosions,
yeah, and like right now, so using this again, especially using film that's very hard to find in there, I'm getting back the feeling. It's been a while, so we're walking the street and like we see a lot of things doesn't work, and we just like put on the camera or we waited. But it's been a while since I felt like this.
That's right. We didn't record it, but we saw this man with a briefcase, and it was just like we both had that moment of.
And
did you see that? Yes, and then the lady as well. So it's nice. It's nice to even if you're not capturing the moments, to still see them and be like, oh wow, look at that. You know?
And right now, it's coming back to me how like selective I am to take film, and how big of a deal film is again to me. So I think this is the first lesson I learned.
Good.
Bring back that feeling, and not just to take photo, you know? I'm not gonna waste anything since...
One, the cost. We can't afford to waste.
Oh my gosh.
But also for refining your eyes.
Oh my gosh. Scholar answer, thank you.
I'll be here on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, but not Sundays.
As we're walking around, I had this concept in my mind. So I was gifted this pack of Time Zero film. Some of you might have seen the video. This is in the beginning of this channel. My old neighbor Carl had 2 packs of the last few production from the Polaroid film Time Zero before they went bankrupt. He had them stored in his freezer, and when I asked about it, he unfrozen both pack, used 1 pack for himself, and gave me a pack. I have those film for a while now, and it's inside of my camera. I've been keeping the camera in a very cold and dark space. However, the film inside is starting to really experience the color change. So I don't know if it's a good idea to even put a whole camera inside of a fridge just to keep it cold and hopefully slow down the aging process, but maybe too late. I'm also looking at the blinking light. I thought the guy was gonna walk a little further. Oh my god.
Got it?
I don't know. The car is actually a pretty good movement. I hope this picks up. Right now it seems like there might be a little blown out.
Not that you asked me for my opinion, but I like it a lot.
It's so blown.
It is blown out. I wish there was some more detail there.
I think I sort of wasted it.
You live and you learn, hey?
Even the iPhone doesn't pick up so much of it. That's what I saw. This is what the camera saw. Sadly. Not just the old Polaroid, but Polaroid in general, the dynamic range and the latitude is not the best. I realized that after I shot my first shot on the Time Zero film, which I was looking for a very high contrast scenario, which I really shouldn't have wasted that image. There is a new exhibition, I guess. This is a beautiful frame. I don't think the camera is going to pick up as well. And I also don't necessarily want a brand in there. And this is what I see. I love it. It came out pretty good. Just like that. able to really have my hands on a Time Zero film from back in the day is such a cool thing. If I really put the new film in perspective, Polaroid film in the past few years have been result really vary, depends on the room temperatures during the developing process. And however, I don't think that is as big as a factor with the new film that I've been testing out. Speaking of the new film and this new camera, this camera can use all type of Polaroid film, all the way from SX-70, 600, and I-type. It's insane. I mean, I-type film is slightly cheaper, so it does make that slightly better. Yeah, because this one needs to be really, okay, you're gonna be in front of the camera a little bit. It's gonna be so nice. Oh, and this black frame. And I have one more shot and I'm just looking for that one.
Thank you. We're flattered.
Thank you so much. Have a good day. That's beautiful. Can I take a picture of you? This is right here. I want to give it to you. So just like this. Because I really like it. Yeah, there it is. Thank you. Oh, it's blue. It's the same as blue. Hopefully. I'm really hoping. You gotta put that one up in the fridge somewhere special. Yes. As far as I could tell, this lens is so sharp. It's a plastic lens, but with really good coating. The lens itself is a little more zoomed in at 98mm focal length. With the thread mount, now it has a 49mm filter mount that you can potentially anti-filter or color filter on it. I do want to do an experiment on this camera, but I need someone who's knowledgeable in camera modification to teach me how to. Imagine if I could put a telephoto lens attachment to this. The only problem that we're running is not being able to focus with this secondary focus lens. How would I be able to do that? Can you imagine bird watching with a Polaroid? Okay, going back to the challenge again, the coolest part of the challenge comes in later the month. My friend Julian brought some Polagraph film. This is a Polaroid 35mm black and white slide positive film that could be developed instantly. So it's still instant film, but it's a 35mm and it's like self-developing. Julian showed me the way to load the camera, unload the film into this crazy setup that comes with the film itself. And we walked around, shot 2 rows of film. The first row, we were shooting at box speed. Due to the age, the negative was a little darker than we wanted to be. So for the second row, we overexposed it by a little bit. And we developed the film inside the park, rinse off the film at a water fountain. And done it in under just a few minutes, and the film comes out kind of crazy. There is a lot of scratch just from trying to dry the film with the napkin. We shouldn't have done that, but Julian did get his hand on a few more rows of the same film. So if you're interested to see more of Polagraph, let me know. We might do a video just on that. I'm sure you have noticed that the quality of the Polaroid photo I've taken from a year ago to now drastically changed. Not only that, I have, I think, a better understanding in the Polaroid color and composition. I do think that this new camera that I've been testing out for the past few weeks really made me a slightly better Polaroid shooter. Although it's not a glass lens as a SX-70 Sonar or the SLR680, this lens does produce a very, very sharp imagery, which I'm completely blown away. And the little strap with the box body made it look like kind of an accessory that it's been really fun carrying around. From many people I talked to, some of them like to shoot Polaroids underexposed to give that deep color and contrast. For me personally, I find myself shooting either at default with the new film or to overexpose a third of a stop. I think I just recently lost the cab. I think it was, by recently I meant yesterday when I was running around like a crazy person. It will tell you if you have the lens cap on, which is nice because the focus lens is different than the taking lens. The clicker of the exposure dial is adjustment much more precise. It tells you how many film you have left in there, which is actually 8, not 10 like the older camera. You get to either shoot at auto setting, aperture priority, shutter priority, manual, or multiple exposure, self timer, and everything. Aperture goes from f8 all the way to f64. The shutter goes, I think, 30 seconds all the way to 2/50th, which combined with f64, you get to shoot pretty much everything. The manual setting is actually quite nice. There is an indicator. It will tell you how under or overexposed, or if you're right on the dot to what the camera seems that is the correct exposure. I have not done any multiple exposure. I kind of want to try, and I didn't even know their option to do 2 multiple exposure to 3 to all the way to 4. What would that even be? I need to experiment more. Self timer is in 3-second increment, all the way from 3 seconds to 12 seconds. I've learned a lot through just using Polaroid this excessively throughout, I guess, the last year. Here's a few things I put down as what I learned from the challenge itself, and I would like to add a few more from just shooting on a new camera like this. Similar to shooting in black and white film or anything that I don't usually do, shooting in Polaroid does give me a different perspective, not just a square composition, but more of what kind of subject looks good in a size like a Polaroid and what color picks up better from the film itself. And because it's such a physical form of photograph, and the aspect of giving away this token of memory is really special. I have given away so many Polaroid films, so you might not have seen some of the really, really precious memory that I have because they are in the hands of the people who are the subject of those photos. It is so cool and fun to document something so instantly. You get to see a moment instantly become a memory right in front of you. It's magical. However, it also shows your mistake instantly. When you're shooting on negative or positive film, it still gives you time, enough time to distance your memory and your technique. I found that Polaroids really just highlight either the memory or the mistake that you make, and it really teach me to slow down and really think about each frame because it's so expensive. You guys know I mainly shoot portraits, so a few tips in shooting better portraits on Polaroid is, as I said, a tip from Tim. I can't take credit from it. Is to always reduce the headroom, tilt the camera down more than you think that you have to. In my own opinion, it does produce a better composition, a better Polaroid. And I would add that to even get real close with your subject. The closer the better. Another thing I've been experimenting is actually inspired by a Polaroid photographer. I'm gonna put her name down here. We met last year at a Polaroid event. She's based in LA, I believe, and she shot her Polaroid sideways, which I've never seen that, and I've been experimenting more. According to her, that you get a little more length on the side, so she would turn her camera around. I do think actually it's a cooler perspective to have the Polaroid this way. It changed the perspective of Polaroid, and I can't really analyze it to say why, but I love it. I've been shooting it this way. Another Polaroid photographer who I feel really inspired by is Ryan on Instagram. I'll put it right here. He shoots Polaroids in studio setting and in street. We got to shoot some Polaroids with this new camera when he was in New York. To see how he worked a Polaroid almost like any film camera in a street setting is really inspiring. So make sure to check out his work. And so that is my experience in shooting Polaroid film in general, all different types. Now adding this one to the category. This is not in review. The camera literally dropped today, now as we speak. So I don't have a lot of specs of the camera to put in this video. It's simply to share my experience with the camera and to take you along to see some sample photos as I'm doing this. I feel like we should end the video with a self-portrait. I actually already did it yesterday when I was trying to film this part of the video, but the video itself didn't come out, so we will have to do it one more time. Here I have some I-type film with color borders. I want to give myself enough time with the self timer. Let's do 9 seconds. I wasn't ready. Oh my gosh, this is so sad. Why did I close my eyes? Well, this is the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I know I have not been very active on YouTube, and which I really appreciate the patience that you guys gave me. I do want to be back, so let me know how you like this setup. Maybe it's time. I do post on Instagram a lot more frequently, almost every single day. So if you would like to keep updated with my current projects and what's coming next, please follow me on Instagram at sissylou.com. At sissy_lou. The city is waking up. It's getting crazier and crazier, and I should just end it here because I'm embarrassing myself in the street. Thank you again, and I'll see you hopefully soon. Bye.